Musketeers, and welcome to the Disneyland Beat and Friends. Today we're going to be talking with Damien from the D3 Damien Does Disney channel and voice actor Don Morin. I am TC. Thanks so much everyone for being here. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into our first segment, the Disneyland News. It's the Disneyland Beat and Friends Disneyland News Wrap-Up. And we might mention those other parks too. So guys, opening day on Avengers Campus, there were really long lines. We've seen a lot of the reports saying that there were problems with getting their food. What do you guys think? Was the opening of Avengers Campus a complete disaster, or was it a complete success, or was it somewhere in between?
I think it was more than likely somewhere in between. I can say this because, like I said, I have some friends who are lucky enough to go to the opening day. And they got in and they were like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Then I had some other friends, they ended up stuck outside waiting 4.5, 5 hours in standby. And they were like, oh my God, this is horrible. Then with the mobile ordering situation, that was a total disaster right there.
Your friends that were there, if they got in early, could they stay there all day, or was there a limited time on that?
That's the thing where they messed up at. They messed up right there. They did not have a limited time like they did at Galaxy Edge.
Exactly. They did that for Galaxy's Edge. You can only stay there for so long, and then you have to move on. It's a small land. Not Galaxy's Edge size. You could fit 3 of them in Galaxy's Edge, right? Something like that?
Probably more.
Yeah.
I bet you could fit 4 or 5 in there. I mean, this is small.
Yeah.
So what was the major problem with the mobile ordering? Like, were there situations where people had ordered food, but they couldn't get it because they couldn't get into the land?
Exactly. That's what happened. And I've heard there were carts of food just sitting there, I guess, just going cold. That was the disaster part right there, I believe, with the mobile ordering. They need to fix that. I think they attempted to fix that already, thankfully. Hopefully it'll be fixed by the time I go in a couple of weeks.
I also read, I think it was something you shared, TC, that a lot of the ODV carts just out there you could walk up to, or people wanted to walk up to those and buy food, but they turned them down because you had to mobile order. Right. And they were just standing there.
I mean, do you guys agree with me? Stand by for the restaurants, at least the counter service restaurants or so. It's got to come back, right?
It has to come back at some point. It has to. I mean, it needs to happen something.
For drinks and pretzels and just a shawarma, oh my goodness. Yeah. I appreciate the option to be able to mobile order for sure, but when it's the only option and when they don't have the capacity to really handle it, that's frustrating. What were the successes? What do you guys think were the big successes?
Well, they got it open finally. It's a sign. Obviously the park's opened a while back, and now this is open, and it's a testament to Imagineering and Disney that they stayed dedicated to continuing to build and finish that land for the campus, and to have it done and open this summer. So that's fantastic. And the successes, it sounds like everything that's there, you mentioned that it's very, very small. Yes, definitely. Everything that's there is done really, really well. It's just tiny. And as popular as Marvel is, maybe even more popular than Star Wars, or at least right on that same track, and it has more momentum right now because so many movies coming out every year. Why didn't they go bigger right out of the gate? It's kind of crazy.
Is Web Slingers meant to be an e-ticket attraction? I'll quote David Erickson from Fresh Baked, who said, no, it absolutely 100% is not meant to be an e-ticket attraction. If it's not an e-ticket attraction, does that mean that Toy Story Midway Mania is not an e-ticket attraction either?
It's not.
So does that mean that DCA has 4 e-ticket attractions, maybe 5?
What do you, we have Radio Springs.
What are they?
Radio Springs Racers. You have Guardians of the Galaxy.
Definitely.
Incredicoaster.
Soarin'. And I would say Grizzly River Run.
That's fine.
I would say those are the 5, the 5 only rides. And it's also like a comparison thing. Is Smuggler's Run an e-ticket attraction? I think kind of no in comparison to Rise of the Resistance.
Well, that's E++.
Yeah, maybe there needs to be a new setting. I mean, eventually it went, it was only A through C, and then they added D, and then they added E. Maybe there needs to be another setting. But
well, yeah, I mean, if you're talking Smuggler's Run, the detail in the queue alone, you get to walk through the Millennium Falcon, you sit in the cockpit, and you know, to me, it's an e-ticket attraction. It would be comparable to Star Tours or any of those, and I figure Star Tours is an e-ticket.
Yeah, is it? I've been working on a list actually for Disneyland too, and Disneyland has well over a dozen if all of those rides qualify for e-ticket attractions, maybe even upwards of 15. But like DCA doesn't have many that really qualify. Little Mermaid is maybe a D-ticket attraction, but it's not an e-ticket attraction. Incredicoaster to me is only an e-ticket attraction in the sense that a big roller coaster is an e-ticket attraction. For me, theming has so much to do with it.
So you're saying Gadget's Go Coaster is an e-ticket attraction?
E-ticket joy? No, I don't think Toontown has one, but I think e-ticket attractions elevate the other attractions. Like if I look at Cars Land, like Radiator Springs Racers, if you take Radiator Springs Racers away, Mater and Luigi's, they don't hold up, and they kind of lose some of their charm because I start going, this isn't enough. But when they are supporting characters in the show that is Radiator Springs Racers, then I'm like, these are all great rides. It all works together. Perfect.
Now, you know this is even phase 2 is coming for AVENGERS Campus. So it's gonna probably come sooner now because phase 2 is supposed to include that e-ticket attraction from Black Panther. So that's going to be a key attraction right there.
Where you're riding on a Quinjet, you fall out the back into like a jetpack kind of thing on like Morin. Like really like whoa.
Well, remember they're going to probably expand it to Hollywood Land too. So that's a going for expansion right there.
You know, I heard that they're going to, Marvel's so popular and they want to make that land or campus or whatever it's called so big because of the popularity, they're actually looking at buying San Diego and clearing it all out and building all the way down there. Yeah, it's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a rooftop or hilltop mansion in Malibu as well. I think they're getting.
Oh yeah. So a question for you guys, because I'd never heard this before until just now. But I just assumed that the new Spider-Man attraction, Web Slingers, was an e-ticket attraction. But you're both saying no, not really.
I almost feel like the new pattern for a land is that there's a master and a Padawan. You know, that there's like an A and a B, and there's that A is really the big ticket, attraction, and the B is really good, but not quite as good. So if you look at Avatar, like for me, the big Pandora, the big e-ticket attraction would be Flight of Passage, whereas Na'vi River Journey is sort of the supporting character.
Yeah, the e-ticket probably has a little bit more thrill to it too as well. You have to have some kind of like, drop or something like that. Something to get your blood pumping. That's what
So if Pirates didn't have the waterfall drop, it wouldn't be considered an e-ticket attraction.
It would be like It's a Small World, pretty much.
When I was writing my script, I came up with 8 criteria, but I don't think every single e-ticket attraction has to meet every single criteria. Here's a question for you. Is the Enchanted Tiki Room an e-ticket attraction?
No.
But it was at one time. So it literally was one of the e-tickets at one time, but it's not anymore because it's a little dated in the technology and things like that.
All that technology was brand new, right? You never saw that.
That's why it was a ticket back. That's why it was a ticket back then, because the technology was like brand new.
So an interesting question is, what's the oldest still an e-ticket attraction?
Matterhorn.
I agree. I think that's it. But the Matterhorn was like one of the first e-ticket attractions. 1959, that whole expansion, that's when the e-tickets came into being.
Yeah, and now it's known as an e-ticket attraction for more than one reason. It's an amazing attraction and very popular still, but it also represents emergency room. Knock your back out, knock your eyeballs out, and the mountains falling apart.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But I want to back it up, Don. So do you think it's an e-ticket attraction? Do you just, like it's like maybe the top 20% of, quality kind of at the park or something?
So I just assumed without knowing anything or knowing much about it, I haven't experienced it yet. You know, Toy Story Midway Mania, I didn't think about it before, but yeah, I think I'd have to call that a D-ticket attraction. And so I guess I assumed it was going to be an E-ticket because it's Spider-Man. He's one of the most popular Marvel characters. The ride vehicles look pretty extreme, and the detail, all the video screens and that, I just assumed. So that was my bad.
But let's get into the ride. What do you guys think of the ride? You know, I think we have to note that almost all reports of people who have actually ridden the ride are relatively positive. That people are
relatively.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think people aren't coming out gushing, but people are coming out saying, I had fun. It seems like it's very responsive to the hand motions, better than, like, say, the Ninjago ride at SeaWorld.
I think it's cool, like the technology where you just use your hands and wrists. And, you know, I heard some bloggers say, like, it's like getting a good workout, you know, so which is good as well, you know. But yeah, just the technology behind it itself. I mean, that's why I cannot wait to ride it in person, to give it its full justice, you know what I mean? Just see everything, you know, you can see so much through, you know, video or whatever, but just the experience in person, you know, that's what part of giving it such a high rating right there. Like, wow, just the screens or whatever they're using, all the props and all that stuff they're using for it is just mind-blowing. Like the pre-show looks pretty awesome. But if anything negative, I'll just say it looks like it's too short.
Midway Mania, like, it sort of embraces the fact that it's a game. Yeah. And you hit the little targets and they pop out more things, and it's like, oh, this is a fun little game. And it really just nails the genre really well, I think. But this ride has more of a story, at least you know, we're trying to get the spider bots. We're trying to all team up to get that giant spider bot to fall over.
Regarding the attraction overall, you know, it sounds. I've watched a couple people on their videos, and I haven't watched a ride through, but I've seen, you know, highlights, and it looks like a serious workout. Like, I get off of Toy Story Midway Mania, and you're pulling that thing, and it's, you know, you got to change arms, and you're like rubbing your arm when you're done. But this looks like serious. You know, when I was a kid at Knott's Berry Farm, they had this little car ride where you get in as a kid, and you got to pedal that thing. And like halfway through, someone had to come push you because you're just tired. And I don't know about the whole workout thing. Like, I'm paying a lot of money to be entertained. Do I want to be exhausted? And I did read that 1 out of every 20 people, their arms actually fall off. So it's very strange.
I like that part. I think that part looks cool. And they've made the ride vehicles look really spacious. So it looks like there's
good. I was worried about that, yeah.
Partner, you know.
Well, and then there's people that don't know how to do it. And I won't name any names, but I saw a blogger or whoever, they weren't really a huge Marvel fan, and so they didn't really know how Spider-Man did the thing. And so they showed him on the ride, and he's like doing, you know, this, and like it's going to be funny. It'd be fun just to stand behind the scenes and watch people and see the different ways they try and sling. But I guess the computer reads them all the same.
Yeah.
And then now, if you want a higher score, you can buy a web slinger add-on. Is that right? For like $30?
Yeah,
there's
different ones that give you different weapons during the game. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that one? I'm
Well, it doesn't surprise me in the sense that this is the second and the closest thing to like just a straight up video game model I believe that Disney's done in the parks. I honestly think you could almost take this model without the moving vehicles at all, right? Just have the vehicle be static and it could be in an arcade. So it's not unusual for, you know, a video game type model to have add-ons within the game.
Yeah.
You know, so that they're just sort of embracing a model that I think a lot of guests and a lot of viewers are already used to.
Yeah, is that going to be a thing in the future? Not every attraction will be that way, obviously, but is every land always going to have that kind of video game? I mean, video games in general are a multi-billion-dollar business, and like you said, they're very popular. Kids grow up playing them, and so that's what they're used to. But I want to play that at home on my Xbox. If I go to a theme park, I want to be immersed and enjoy and just dive into whatever the story is.
Right, and even like I think a good thing to look at is Super Mario World.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the cart ride, it's using augmented reality, so you see the video game part in your glasses overlaid on top of actual physical props. But they created a real dark ride for that. I mean, it's not as fast as maybe I wanted it to be in places, but I think it's a really cool ride. It's an actual dark ride. So.
Yeah. I mean, you have to have a limitation because, you know, I can just stay at home and use my VR, you know, right behind me, right here over my shoulder.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly right. So I can tell you, my son, boy, he sure wants me to get every single one of them. What I have to get in the land and see are the characters. And I think that the character shows are fantastic. You've got the Dora Milaje show, which we have them coming out and doing like a training exercise with the audience. It's about like a 15-minute show. And then there's the Doctor Strange show. And this one it seems to be small, very, very small area. We know it's a small land. But I have read some complaints saying that you can only get maybe 11, 12 groups actually in there to see the show at once. And but it is kind of a cool show. They've got like a door behind him that he goes in and out of that kind of makes it work. And some, I'm just gonna be honest, some kind of silly magic tricks. And then the Spider-Man stunt show, which is fantastic. And then the stunt shows with Black Widow and Taskmaster and Ant-Man and the stunt bot, the animatronic stunt, that is so cool.
I was about to say if that animatronic was doing those flips, that's amazing right there, but shoot.
Amazing.
Yeah, there's one where he's like just kind of flailing, you know?
There's one that has a signature Spider-Man pose. I saw that one. That was pretty cool right there.
Yeah, and the new Iron Man suit. There's a new Iron Man costume that looks really cool. So, you know, 15 new characters. So I think that's something that compared to Galaxy's Edge, they got right.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So I think that's something they got right. Sure.
I think going back to the shows, I think the Doctor Strange show probably look better if it's at night. That's what I think in my opinion right there.
For sure, I agree that all those lighting hexagons and what are those things? What's that thing called? It has a name. What do you guys think? Have you guys had a chance to peek at any of those shows?
Yes, I've looked at all of them. Like I said, my favorite by far is the Spider-Man stunt show. Then Dora Milaje show is the second. There's so many Easter eggs in this campus too. So many Easter eggs. That's the one thing I want to check out too. Like, you have Miles Morales, the graffiti art in front of the actual building. Mm-hmm. You have like the visual graphic on the ground. It looks like the ground is sinking in or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing I could probably just stay all day just exploring just all the Easter eggs over there.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Forget all the shows, forget the attractions. I just want that giant chicken sandwich with the little tiny bun.
Yeah. It's got to be like butterflied out. It's got to be really tasty because of that.
Yeah.
So.
I love that whole concept. Like I love I'm not even going to be able to remember the name of it. The big, in Germany, there's a big pork pounded out, breaded, fried.
Schnitzel?
Schnitzel, yeah. So it reminds me kind of that, like where they just really pounded it out and then breaded it and fried it. Love that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So, I mean, that with, does it come with tater tots or something like that?
Yeah.
Mobile order, remobile order.
I would like to taste some of the drinks too as well. Some of the alcoholic beverages look really good. Like, I've seen where like there's like they're placed a cup or whatever, like a glass on the table, and the liquid comes up from the bottom. The drink comes up from the bottom of the glass. So that looks really unique right there. How I guess they use Pepper's Ghost, something like that.
Creative, cool. If the three of us were there together, and maybe a couple more people, would we all go in on that $100 sandwich?
Of course.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you gotta do it. And the fried chicken sandwich.
Yes.
Has anyone seen? I haven't seen any video yet. Can you see the press? Can you see them pressing?
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I hope that's possible. Might not be.
Well, I think it's just a regular sandwich press, and they make the sandwich, and then they put it through the teleporter thing, and it.
You're right. Technically, I do believe that is how it works there.
But really cool, very creative. I love all those ideas. I'm wondering over time if they'll come out with other ideas and change up the menu here and there once in a while, just to keep it fun and creative, or the same stuff. I'm open to either. I also wonder if I can buy a Dole Whip in Disneyland, bring it over there, have them put it in the machine, and it makes it bigger. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be totally awesome. What other
Yeah.
types of Disney foods would you want to grow or shrink?
Yeah,
Oh,
churro.
For sure.
Yeah, you can make like a lightsaber-sized churro, for sure, and they could have like a novelty lightsaber handle.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah,
there you
that'd be
go.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Monte Cristo.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Jumbo size that thing.
Yeah.
And the little side of jam.
Mm-hmm.
Bucket of jam.
Beignet, like the size of your head.
Yeah.
Well, Mouseketeers, before we wrap up, I really want to say thank you so much to Don Morin and Damien Houston for joining me here today at the Disneyland Beat and Friends, and thank you guys for joining us. I want to say thank you so much to Don,
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. It's a lot of fun.
and then also want to say thank you to Damien, and give Damien a chance to talk about what he's got coming up next on the D3 channel.
Thanks, TC. It's always a pleasure. Well, on the D3 channel, pretty much, my weekly show, 6:30 on Wednesday nights. You can talk Disney. Any questions you might have about the park, you can talk Adventure Campus, tips, and things like that you can use when you go there, stuff like that. Hey, I got more exciting content coming out pretty soon as well.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe to the video. That's all for us today. We'll see you real soon, Mouseketeers.
See you real soon.
See you soon.